you use a combination of outboard gear and in-the-box kind of stuff because you have some of your favorite pieces, all decorated with Star Wars action figures and things like that, which will just...
So much Star Wars.
So much stuff. How do you handle things like recalls and things like that?
So on the analog side, there's some choice pieces. This has whittled down a little bit over the years, but we're probably having still 12 to 15 pieces. And with a compressor, for instance, it's easy. You can automate the send to it and the return from it, so I can actually control how far I push it. If it really, really doesn't work in that setting and in that purpose that I have it for instance, I'm using the Shadow Hills mastering compressor for some kind of like instrument subgroups, right? If it really, really didn't work, I will go and just abandon it, go use the plugin, which is obviously tweakable, etc. But this way, like, revisions come in at all times. I embrace revisions, because I really believe that, you know, somebody hires me to do a mix. I come out with a mix, and hopefully they're not immediately going like, what the hell is this? But, you know, there's things that are important to the client, things that they go like, I want to tweak because, or I really love this bell because it took me until 5 a.m. to record it. And even if it takes, you know, 8 versions, then it takes 8 versions. As long as the person walks away and goes like, that was awesome, it is cool with me. Most mixes take about 3 to 4 versions. One major revision, and then a couple of tweaks, and then like, okay, you good? Really? You really good? You like that? Really? Don't just be nice to me now. And then they approve it, and then it's good, right?
You know, typically I'll use things like the A400 or A600 for if I want to tame down something that's brought into me, like if somebody's using, say, bass, and they're going, say, between a 5th fret A note on the E string and then an open A, those really sound different. So, you know, a lot of people end up doing rides and stuff. For me, you know, I'll take like the 400, the A400, and go in and do band limiting. So when those frequencies jump up, it'll clamp down on it. So you hear no change, and then the bass is consistent. And if I want to have the bass, like say for Ged Loves, you know, for Rush, it's like all 3 are loud all the time. You can hear them all at the same time. Like you hear Ged's very loud and proud. They're all 3 of them have that sort of effect when when you listen to a record, and that's something I found that really helps stabilize the instrument, so I can deliver it, and I spend less time automating, and I can just drop that on and boom, I'm done. And I have templates and presets that speak to doing that for me. So
it's been a crazy year. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everyone, music and otherwise media in general, has been feeling the effect of just the change in economy, the change in industry, the strikes, etc. It's been a funky year. I've been real blessed. I've been working on a bunch of stuff that's very VFX heavy, so it was shot before the strike, so God bless. So I was able to have some really cool stuff to mix. In fact, I just had something come out recently, so I'm going to do a shameless plug.
Oh, please do.
My latest show that I mixed on with also the wonderful Chris Barnett is Echo. So Echo for Marvel, which is a really interesting project with a deaf character, a deaf central character, which ironically lends to a lot of sound opportunity, right? You know, you wouldn't think it would go that way, but it absolutely does.
I see.
Yeah, she is badass. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, she's totally badass. She's totally so badass. Yeah. She's. I think she might be I'm 99.9% sure she's the first Marvel show to actually get a TVMA rating. So like, you know, it's a little grodier than usual. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm very blessed to have had that opportunity.
And when you talk about using sound to help describe the story, I know, just like you said, it's kind of like sitting in a movie theater with a big screen and wonderful speakers and make all these soundscapes, but then how do you know what you're doing is going to translate to what the consumer is hearing?
That's a very good question. Basically, you throw it around a number of different devices. I was very lucky. I even had a sound bar for people who are approximating Atmos through a sound bar versus physical Atmos. I listen to it in stereo. I listen to it on headphones. I throw it through smalls, nears, bigs. You try and find something that gives everybody something beautiful, and make sure that your general, most common denominator has a really excellent sonic experience. It really is a science of averages in that sense.
So,
I think this is one of my earlier recording gigs because you have to work up the ranks, intern to runner. I was stuck at runner for 4 years, and then you go to assistant engineer, which is you're helping the engineer get whatever they need, and then you finally make it to a recording engineer. So this was one of my first gigs as a recording engineer. Sandra, my studio manager at the time, she let me know that Nas is coming in. Are you up for it? And of course, I've been waiting my whole life for this. And for those who don't know, Nas was the first album I've ever purchased in America. So it was like a full circle moment for me. And so I got into the session. I had everything prepped. As soon as he got here, I was so nervous, man. Like, I've never been nervous working with everybody because I have this tendency to feel like as soon as an artist steps into the studio, they're not artists. They're just co-people, right? But for some reason, the aura was too big with Nas, man. I was shaking in my boots, and I let him know the story, and he was like, "Wow, that's a full circle moment." And as soon as he said that, I kind of calmed down, and we got to work.